Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. Coming up, a woman has gone viral for dyeing eggs in her toilet. And no, that's not a euphemism.
Also, if you've rolled your eyes from an opening message on a dating app, you're not alone.
All that and more on the way next. Yesterday, we got our wish, Allie, an exciting close to the Masters. And it was everything you wanted because it was like you looked at the leaderboard going into Sunday, it was all the big names were up there. And then it closed out with Rory McIlroy having the shot to complete a career Grand Slam. Five people have done that, right? Prior to Rory?
Yes.
And he became the sixth yesterday, and it was dramatic. As dramatic as golf can get.
To say the least. I mean, first of all, you don't always get a playoff, and to get a playoff at one of golf's premier events, the Masters, is just like cherry on top. Like, that is true. Like, we got extra golf. We got an extra round of golf. Like, an extra hole. And so it was really, really cool. And I feel like it came down to, Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy, but definitely, I mean, just even the emotion that you saw from Rory when he did hit that putt and got that win. It's like, wow, it was such a moment, and one that we will never forget. This will be one of those that you're like, you'll talk about, like Tiger winning in 19. Like that is kind of what this has going for it.
It was crazy too that we get two historic events one Sunday apart. Like two kind of once in a lifetime things. Literally, Alex Ovechkin breaks the scoring record last week in hockey. This week in golf, Rory completes the career Grand Slam. Only 6 people have done that. Yep. Nobody since Tiger Woods, which he did in 2000.
Yeah,
it's crazy that it was that long ago, and then he won a bajillion majors after that too. So an amazing accomplishment. And it is true what you said about Rory with the emotion. It's so, it's what we talked about last week with golf, where it's like, was I rooting against Rory? Like, was I rooting for someone else other than Rory to win yesterday? Yes, because I thought it would have been fun for him to choke it away, like a fun story. I like stories.
I mean, he almost did. He double bogeyed on the first hole.
So I was rooting against him, but then you see the emotion after it. It's like, how can you not cheer for the guy and be happy for the guy?
Absolutely.
And an amazing accomplishment. But it is like leading up to the playoff, though. It was so dramatic. Like if somebody told me that someone was steering Rory's balls with golf balls with a drone somehow, and someone had a remote control, I would believe it, because it was just every time I was like, okay, Rory can put this away. And I think that's what was going on in his head.
Yeah.
He was he would get confident. He'd be like, that was a pretty good shot, huh? I guess I'm going to wrap this thing up. And then he'd miss a putt or he'd put it in the river or whatever. And so he had to make it dramatic. He could have just ran away with it many times yesterday. And instead, he kept missing putts and whatever.
That eagle putt that he missed, my goodness, that would have ended it. Yeah. That would have been done. Yeah, so it's true. It was a roller coaster, not just for Rory, for everybody. Yeah. Everybody had like great shots and then bad shots and great shots and then bad shots.
That's actually true, too. There's many other golfers had
opportunities to win.
The door was open for them to bust in and take the Masters.
Had the lead. He was tied at one. It was crazy, but that's what added to the drama, added to the historicness of this Masters tournament this year. You don't always get this type of competition, and as you said, you don't always get this competition with such high level players all at the end. Usually, you got some
big names.
Yeah, usually you have some no names or some younger guys in there that you've never really heard of before.
Which is fun too.
Yeah, that's great too. But this was definitely the year for the big guns coming out on Sunday, all fighting for the Masters win, all fighting for the green jacket. Rory gets it done. And I'm sorry, I was crying on that 18-hole with Rory. That was so emotional.
Everything you could ask for, except the Corey Connors erasure. He was on the top of the leaderboard, and they're like, we're not going to show him at all on Sunday. But then he did kind of suck.
Hudson, I am living the dog parent life right now.
Oh, you got a dog.
I did not get a dog, but I'm dog sitting for this next week. I started on Saturday. This is my cousin's dog. It's a golden doodle named Leo.
Okay, nice.
And very friendly and happy dog. And I'm dog sitting / house sitting for them while they are on a cruise for spring break.
Oh, lucky them.
Yeah.
And lucky you.
Yeah, I mean, so far I'm having a good time. He's a fun dog. I am struggling, though, with the split between spending time with Leo and then spending time with Noelle because I have to kind of go back and forth because I have a cat, obviously. Cats are much better alone. You know, they don't have as many issues staying by themselves. And so I'm spending the night with Leo, but then trying to spend some time of the day with Noelle. So I feel like I'm a parent with like split custody, like but my kids are going different directions. Yeah. Like it's craziness.
Have you considered hiring somebody to pet sit your cat?
No. I that would
somebody without a pet, maybe.
That would just be, you know, why would I want to lose the money that I'm making dog sitting?
Because it'd be better for your cat.
Well, she'll be fine. Is
there any thought of introducing them to each other?
No, I don't think I would trust Leo to meet Noelle. I mean, Leo's a hyper dog sometimes. Not even sometimes, a lot of times. And so I just feel like that would not go over well.
That would be fun though. Do you need any dog tips? I guess you already have, you know, you should have your list of stuff that they left for you to do and whatever.
Yeah. They have a few different things that they told me, you know, are do's and don'ts with Leo and whatever. And I've known this dog since they got the dog. So I'm kind of already familiar with him and his routine and all of that. But so far so good.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
I've always wished I could dog sit.
Okay.
I think that sounds like the easiest money in the entire world because I already dog sit my entire life.
Yeah, that's
my
true.
life is dog sitting with Saphira the dog. So why couldn't somebody pay me to do the same thing for their dog?
The only issue is it kind of does stink to dog sit if you have another pet.
Yeah.
I will say because my heart is torn most of the time. I'm going to bed last night and I'm thinking, what's Noelle doing?
Yeah.
You know, is she okay? Is she worried or whatever? Because she is still pretty young. She's less than a year old. So that's the only bad part.
You guys haven't been together as long. Like Saphira and I, if I went and stayed with another dog for a while, she would know. She'd know I'm coming back, you know? Like we have that trust, that relationship. But you and Noelle, it's still a newer thing. She's going to be jealous. She might be jealous. She might have a wondering mind.
Yeah.
What is Allie doing when she's not around me?
Exactly.
What is the smell that comes back with her all the time?
Yeah, she's going to be like, what are you doing behind the scenes here?
When she finds the time of day to wander in here.
Yeah.
Why, what's she smelling like? What's going on here?
You're making me feel even worse.
I know. She's going to be suspicious.
I'm even more sad. Now I just want to go hug my baby.
I think you need to introduce them.
No.
I think you do.
No.
I think to put Noelle's mind at ease.
Believe me, it's not going to go well.
Noelle needs to see Leo and be like, oh, okay, I've got nothing to worry about.
No.
This dog is a menace. She's not going to leave me for this dog. And everything, your mind will be at ease. Coachella got kicked off over the weekend, and it started with a 12-hour traffic jam. And no, that's not a new hot band that you haven't heard of yet. That is literally a 12-hour traffic jam to kick off Coachella. Everybody waiting in line in their cars, and it was a pretty bad situation. Like you expect some traffic, you expect to wait in some lines when you're going to a big festival.
Yeah.
12 hours though. 12 hours in excruciating heat, and from the reports I'm seeing, not many bathrooms. The bathrooms were scarce.
Yeah, there were not many porta potties available on the way to Coachella. Once you get there, you're fine. But,
yeah, of course.
On the way where this traffic jam was happening, there wasn't really anything. It seems like the festival just wasn't prepared for this type of mass migration to the Coachella grounds.
Yeah.
Because this was actually last week Thursday, and the festival didn't start till Friday. So this was everyone trying to get there early, trying to get ahead of any type of traffic.
Yeah.
There's always traffic for big festivals like this, and Coachella is literally one of the biggest. But it was 100 degrees. This is the reason why I've believed, and I know I'm never going to go to Coachella. I think it's such a dumb idea. It's literally in the desert. It's in the desert. It is just like, why would anyone want to go there? I know that there's great, artists or bands that perform and people get so excited, but I have no interest in that.
There's something about music festivals that if you explained it to an alien feels very illogical, but then you go and you usually have a very good time and all the inconveniences are part of the memories that you make. But
doesn't Coachella just seem like it's for posers that don't actually like music though? It's like the people that just want to go to show off their outfit.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of that. Also, Coachella actually had something very head scratching to me happen this weekend as well because Bernie Sanders showed up.
What?
Senator Bernie Sanders and gave a speech and like the crowd was into it. And it's nothing about Bernie Sanders. It's any politician. If I was at any music festival and a politician shows up and starts talking about like climate change or whatever, I'm going to be like, yeah, but I was here for, I'm trying to have fun. You don't have to bring me down by like telling me.
Bernie Sanders was talking about climate change?
He did talk about one of the things he talked about. Yeah.
That's so funny.
And yet again, I'm like, it could be any politician talking about anything that they want to complain about.
Yeah.
And like, we need to fix this. And I'm like, but I just want to hear whoever I want to, Charlie XCX or whoever's
right.
playing.
I didn't know I was coming to a political rally.
Yeah, this is not what this is not what I paid all this money for.
Right. I would have booed him off the stage. Not that I'm, have any political affiliation, but I would just be like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? This is not what we signed up for.
You got a 12-hour traffic jam to listen to Bernie Sanders talk. And you had to, go to the bathroom in a bottle to make this happen.
You said 12-hour traffic jam may not be a band, but it might inspire a band, you know? People might be like, we were in that 12-hour traffic jam. We had plenty of time to talk about that band we always wanted to start, and we named it 12-hour traffic jam.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Yep.
It just makes sense.
It birthed something.
It definitely. I'd be surprised if there wasn't babies birthed in that traffic jam. 12 hours. Jeez. Let us know the worst first message you can receive on a dating app. 8772 RadioU. I mean, if you want to send the specific worst message you've ever got, I guess you could, but I'm sure it's probably pretty horrible. People send horrible and stupid things.
They do.
But I'm talking about like the typical worst, like you see this notification pop up and it's a message you've seen before. You're like, blah, I thought this person might have been a good match. And nope, because they opened with this.
Yeah. I'd say, hey, or like a hi.
Yeah.
That's just
the one word greeting.
Yeah, it just makes you not want to respond to that person at all.
Well, Allie, you and everyone else on the same page, because according to this new survey from findingtheone.com, the worst message you could send, at least the top message people dread seeing, is simply hey or hi. 78% of people, which still means that 22% of people are okay with just getting a hey.
Yeah, they're willing to oblige.
That's probably, I'm going to guess that 22% is all guys and they're just happy to see any message at all.
Yeah, they're happy to see anything, or they're the ones that send the heys and the highs.
Yeah, that came in as the most agreed upon bad message to receive on a dating app, coming in as a distant second. Or I guess a closer second. 72% of people say they do not want to get the you up message.
Oh, no.
Do people even do that anymore?
I have received that message before, not on a dating app though, like just through text.
Yeah, through the text.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
No, don't send
That's not a good look.
Don't send that message.
Coming up next on the list, ranking the top worst messages to receive on a dating app. How are you? What? There's definitely a theme with these.
Yeah.
And as I continue through as well, that on a dating app, you do not want to be sending either messages that do not have a question or messages that have a very closed-ended question. Like you need to have something open-ended or like a fun observation or something.
Yep.
You cannot be going in with, hey, how are you? Or, a yes or no question. How was your weekend? Like that's not good enough.
No, it sounds disinterested, and as you said,
lazy.
It's closed-ended where it's like it's very plausible that person can just respond with "I'm doing good," and that's the end of the conversation because they may not respond with a question at the end of what they say. And so, yeah, if you leave it like that, you're just setting yourself up for failure.
I think a good rule of thumb is, think of it this way. If you're sending the first message on a dating app, do not send a message that puts a lot of pressure on the other person to continue the conversation. What you need to ask a question that their response will propel things forward.
Yes.
Which is, it's tough, but you're the one that's choosing a message. So you gotta come with something.
Come up with something good. Yeah. I always like it. I gotta be honest. I deleted the dating app.
Oh, you're done with the dating apps.
I'm done.
How Allie kissed dating apps goodbye.
But I always liked it when a guy would message me and have some type of like observation about my profile. So it wasn't just like the hey or the hi or the how are you.
And also,
it was like pointing something out that, I had on my profile.
Yeah. And by the way, probably not just a simple compliment either.
No.
Because I also see going down further on the list, just adding beautiful or handsome to your hey or hi is still very high on the list of things people don't want to get.
Yes.
Because how do you respond?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dude, it happens. It happens. And it's annoying. So many times it happens where it's like, your smile is so beautiful. Which is like, it's great to hear those things, but also it's just like, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Well, I could say thank you.
What would you do in person?
Exactly.
If somebody said that to you?
Exactly. I would say thank you, but then I had no idea what to say after that.
I'd also probably be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't take compliments well, just so you know. So yeah, that's a good advice. Do not do that.
I know from experience that it feels stupid sitting on a dating app and like spending several minutes trying to come up with what you want to say. But if you actually want to like talk to this person, it's worth it.
Yeah, think through it.
That first few minutes, that several minutes that feels long, coming up with something that's actually worthwhile to say will pay off later.
Yeah, just don't send them a paragraph. Please do not send them a paragraph.
Yeah, take it easy. Allie, would you ever send food back at a restaurant? Have you ever done that before?
I have once or twice.
Once or twice?
Yep.
What was the occasion?
It was the meat being cooked in a different way than I wanted.
Oh, different way entirely.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, it was just like one time the meat was, I'm usually a medium rare person.
Yeah.
It was much too rare for my taste. And so I was like, can you put it back on the grill for a little longer?
Oh, this is the exact situation I found myself in this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I didn't have it in me to send it back.
You didn't?
No, but it was I was with my family. My parents wanted to, there's this restaurant called Ponderosa, which is a relic of time. Like I guess it used to be a big chain. Now there's literally like 3 of them.
I was going to say, I don't see them around anymore.
We happen to live near one kind of. And so we went for old time's sake. And when you go to my dad told me, when you go to Ponderosa, you get steak. So I got a steak. Mm-hmm. Ours, me and my dad's both were not quite cooked right.
Okay.
He wanted his medium and his was a little too cooked. And I wanted mine medium rare and mine was a little undercooked.
Yeah.
Like not undercooked to be unsafe, just not quite medium rare. It was more on the rare side.
Yeah.
And neither of us went ahead and sent it back. Now, he had a better excuse. My dad was like, well, they cooked mine too much, so they're going to have to grill me an entirely new steak, which is going to have us waiting here this whole time. For me, I was too bashful. I couldn't do it. And I was like, it looks fine. And I'm no steak expert, but so I'm not that critical of it. And it still tasted good.
Okay.
So I did not send it back, but I did feel like a different type of person would have definitely not let that stand.
Yeah, and there's been some times where they've messed up a portion of my food and I haven't sent it back before. Mm-hmm. But I will say in this situation for me where it was a steak being not cooked the right way, I was in Africa at the time. And they tell you in Africa, don't usually order your meat to not be well cooked.
Oh, yeah, they have a different idea of rare over there than we probably do.
Well, no, but it's just for safety reasons, especially if you're traveling. And at this time I was. And so it's just like, for your safety, you should probably get it well done.
So you couldn't take any chances.
No.
Let me ask this, because I think this is similar. Let's say you're picking up a to-go order from a restaurant. do you inspect the order there, like inside the restaurant?
Dude, I should. I
know,
should.
I
but
know.
I never do that.
And I always feel so dumb because then I'll go to the car and check it. I don't want them to think I don't trust them unless they actually messed it up. And so I will go out to the car and check it in the car and then come back in if something's wrong.
Okay.
And I don't have a problem doing that, although I am notorious for walking back in with the order they didn't get right for some reason and going, I'm sorry. Starting it off with, I'm sorry.
Why are
like
you
it's my
sorry?
fault. Like I ordered wrong. Like, no, you put the wrong thing. And
I apologize.
Yes, but that is to the bone the Canadian in me that I can't not apologize and be polite.
I have to say, it's not even just Canadian. It's Midwestern. It's people pleaser. It's all of the things.
I'm sorry. You messed up. This is not a chicken sandwich. This is a fish sandwich. So
you do this on a regular basis, right? Because you eat at Popeyes all the time.
Yeah, but the last time I went to Popeyes, they got it. They nailed it.
They got it right?
They nailed it to the T.
Miracles are still possible.
Yeah, they can do it. They they eventually get it right. Sometimes it just takes
30
a while.
minutes.
Yeah. It's Love 'em or Leave 'em on Radio U. Anytime you have a relationship issue that you need help with, we can try. Email mornings@radiou.com with your situation. We'll see what we can do. This one, I'm telling you right here, this is the first preemptive leave 'em I'm going to give you right now.
Really?
Like I'm already declaring this a leave 'em.
Oh no.
Before we read this.
This must be bad.
But this guy still needs advice. He definitely needs some advice for his life.
Oh no.
Okay. My girlfriend made Marshalls all call me over the intercom to force me to talk to her because I told her I needed to take a break.
What? What?
Recently, we are going to hang out for the day, but she made last minute plans, which I did not feel happy about. Also, her response was lacking, so I informed her that I was going to cool off by candle shopping at Marshalls, one of my favorite activities.
Aww.
Okay, first of all, is this real? Before we get
right, I was like, that's a great activity to have, but a little unusual, but yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so he's going candle shopping at Walmart. I told her I'd talk to her later and drove to the store. She did not like this. She began to call me. I simply put my phone in my pocket, but the calling did not stop. It was constant. After about 10 calls,
wow,
I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. She continued calling. It got to be around 25 to 30 calls by the time I reached the candle aisle.
What? That's not a long, Marshall's is big, but that's not a long walk.
Well, you had to drive, too.
Oh, okay, yeah, but still.
I began driving through their selection, browsing through their selection when I heard the store's music stop playing. They asked if anybody by the name of his name is here, please come to the front of the store. They repeated this twice. I took out my phone and started recording because I could not believe she would do this because I communicated that I needed some time to myself. Also, as a guy, I felt like no one would believe me that she engaged in this type of behavior.
That's sad, but true.
I believe someone would engage in this behavior. I just have a hard time believing this entire story.
This story is, all parts of it are pretty wild.
So I know what everyone's thinking right now. How did she know he was at Marshall's in the first place? Well, I guess he did say he was going to the shopping in the candle. But nevertheless, he says, turns out I did not turn off my location. This is how she knew which store to call. I proceeded to the register with my candles. I asked the cashier what happened with the all call. She asked me if I was the person they called for. She told me that a woman called looking for me and she sounded really irate. I said, nah, don't worry about it. Now, the question, how do I draw the line with overstepping? Tracking location is one thing, but I've never been all called. Listen, leave him. You need to break up with this gal.
Yeah, this is not a good sign, buddy. This is not a good sign. I mean, she's young, but that's not acceptable behavior.
Crazy behavior. Yeah. I'll say it. It's crazy.
It is great. It's psycho.
But you're not coming in here like, how do I break up with you? You're like, how do I draw the line? This guy needs some advice for his life going forward. How do you not let this happen again?
Yeah.
In any future relationship. 877-2-RADIO-U. What do we tell this guy? He needs some answers. Or he's set up for disaster. Brian says, if she doesn't respect your time, then it's your time to leave. Leave him, Brian says.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Stephanie says, good morning. This man needs to imitate Iron Maiden and run to the hills.
That's my favorite comment of all time, Stephanie. Thank you for that.
You gotta get far away from this. Regina says she is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Hopefully she's just a one-off and his next relationship going forward is much better. Otherwise, return to the store, get your money back.
Yeah. That's all insane stuff.
That is a good point, though. That we can give him some advice, and like I think it is true that if you're not instantly, he didn't say, "How do I break up with her?" or anything like that. How do I approach this? You should break up with her.
Yes,
but also it's unlikely that the next gal you wind up dating, whoever it may be, and any gal, like you could date 100 more women, and none of them will do something that's insane.
Yeah.
But that also sounds like you may have a problem with being kind of walked over in your relationships.
You might need to stand up for yourself and not put up with when that respect isn't there. And that respect needs to be mutual, not just from one side. So don't expect it all from her. You should respect each other, but also she shouldn't, expect you to respect her and have none of that in return for you. So it works both ways. I really like the comment from Haley. She says, if a man did this, we'd be calling him a stalker. This is crazy behavior and would send me running. And I think that's absolutely true. It's like there's a sad double standard. And maybe the reason why sometimes men end up in situations like these for longer than they should. And it happens with women too. They put up with abuse that goes on for years sometimes, and they shouldn't. But it is true. Like sometimes women get a free pass on doing some of this stuff because it's like, oh, it's cute. It's they're a little crazy for you. And it's like, no, this is not cute. This is just bad.
This is, it's possessive.
Yes.
It's very possessive.
And if a man did this, it would be like, oh no, you know, like
5-alarm fire.
Exactly. But when a woman does it, it's less alarming for whatever reason. But to me, it would be equally alarming either way.
It shouldn't be less alarming. This is, you have to break up with her and completely cut off contact too, because if she's going to do this while you're in a relationship, what is she going to do when you break up with her?
Yeah.
And that's not a reason to stay with her, but even though that's a lot of times what does kind of scare people into staying with somebody too long. It's like, what are they going to be like if
I try and break up with them? Yeah, you can't think that way.
No, you gotta get far away and stand up for yourself in this relationship and going forward. And also, I feel like a little footnote in this is we don't need to do location sharing.
No,
I do not understand why anybody agrees to that.
I agree.
That's too far.
Especially if you're, they're both young in this relationship, and I feel like it's so easy to let that become a real something that really makes you paranoid.
Yeah.
And if you're paranoid in that way where you need those things like location sharing and stuff like that, there might be some deeper issues, underlying.
Yeah. I would, I'm out on location sharing.
Yeah.
That's a red flag to me.
Yeah.
I say no.
Yeah.
I will not do it. Allie, I know I have a reputation of somebody that drinks a lot of coffee. Some days I get to, most days I get to 2 cups.
Yeah.
Some days 3 on a high end, maybe even 4 every once in a while.
Whoa.
But I've got nothing on Philadelphia Phillies closer Jose Alvarado.
All right.
There was just a recent report in The Athletic that Jose Alvarado, closer for the Philadelphia Phillies, starts his day every day with 6 espressos. And that's just to start. He says that on days when he thinks he's going to be closing for the Phillies too, that he will have his final coffee for the night around the 7th inning. So that's pretty late.
That is pretty late.
And so he starts with 6 espressos, ends with a coffee right about the 7th inning of every night. And then in between, who knows how much he adds on in there.
Oh my goodness. I can't even think about that much caffeine in my system.
Mm-hmm.
That would be enough to kill you, like to stop your heart.
For any mortal man.
Apparently, Jose Alvarado is not a mortal man.
He is no mortal.
But in this article, they post a clip of somebody that had posted on X a minute edit of Jose Alvarado celebrating after like closing a game or getting a strikeout or whatever. And it all makes sense now because he's always been a very like big, outspoken guy, you know, like with these big celebrations, which a lot of pitchers usually aren't. I think that's been discouraged in baseball for a long time, which is kind of absurd to me. It's like they just did a pretty impressive thing, let them celebrate.
Yeah.
But it has been where it's like, oh, pitchers shouldn't be super loud and boisterous and like celebrating over the top. You know, it's kind of seen as not a good thing to do. But he does that a lot. And it makes sense now with the coffee he's drinking. I'd imagine he's pretty hyped up on caffeine.
Yeah, he's got a lot of energy and he pours that into his pitching, which he's been great. He's been an absolutely outstanding closer for the Phillies so far this year. And he pours it into his celebrations. And he also has a tattoo on his hand of a coffee mug. It says "Coffee is Life" on it.
Okay, for him, it seems to be.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like that could be the key to his success.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, I wonder if like he stopped drinking the amount of, you know, caffeine and coffee that he drinks per day. Would that change his pitching performance? Would he be a bad pitcher?
I mean, at least temporarily, he'd go through withdrawal, I'm sure, of all that
headaches
caffeine.
And maybe the shakes for someone that's drinking that much. He might be shaking up there.
Yeah. Now, I know he is much heftier than I am. He's got close to 100 pounds on me.
Okay.
And a few inches. But I feel like maybe I should try. Maybe coffee could be the key to my success, too. Maybe I should take a page out of Jose Alvarado's book.
You're already drinking enough.
I'm drinking a lot. I might need to test the Jose Alvarado method.
No, I don't think there's any turning back once you go full Jose Alvarado.
Yeah, an addiction develops.
Yep.
If it hasn't already.
I think it'd be pretty bad to turn around after
turn that faucet off. Easter coming up. We're less than a week away, right? It's a Sunday.
Yep, it's a Sunday.
Lots of people doing the classic Easter activities like dyeing eggs. And I've got one woman that has gone viral for, I guess, all the wrong reasons. This is crazy. This woman has gone viral for dyeing eggs in her toilet.
Oh my gosh, this is disgusting.
So here's the thing, and I guess I understand why she went viral. I also understand why she did it in the toilet. She puts all of the hard-boiled eggs in the toilet, okay? She adds food coloring. She adds vinegar and baking soda, which makes it fizz up, right?
Yeah.
And so then what's left, once that all kind of dies down, is a bunch of tie-dye dyed eggs, which, I mean, the end result looks pretty cool if you just didn't know where it came from.
Yeah, if you zoomed in a little bit and didn't see that it was a toilet and thought it was a regular bowl.
If she just handed somebody one of these eggs, that they'd be pretty impressed.
Yeah.
They'd be like, how did you manage this? But then if I was her, I wouldn't want to tell them. I wouldn't want to be like, well, it's been in my toilet.
Yeah, nope. I do not approve of this being the spot that you decide to dye eggs. I also don't know if I approve of dyeing eggs right now. We have an eggs problem right now.
Yeah, actually, I mean, like, what a flex for her to just be able to.
That's a lot of eggs.
That is a carton of 18 eggs, I believe, at least. And that's not, she put more than that in this toilet.
Oh, yeah.
So this woman's got money.
She's rich.
Loaded.
Yeah. This is a sign. This is a status symbol.
Yeah.
Is the eggs.
Yeah. She's got some money and she's putting it to use by dyeing eggs in her toilet. But I mean, you know what they say though, that like, oh, there's more germs on your dish sponge than there is in your toilet or whatever. So maybe it's not as bad as we actually think.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd agree with that, but I just feel like overall it's just not a good look. I mean, maybe she did it for clicks. Maybe she did it for rage bait. I know that's a big thing on TikTok is rage baiting people. So you do something that's absolutely absurd just to get angry comments, which drive engagement. Because, you know, when you comment on a video, it continues to play again and again and again in the background on one of those apps. And so that just helps it out even more by doing something ridiculous like this.
The comments are good. Maddie Moo 01 says, I showed this to my therapist and now he's in therapy.
Oh no.
I'm definitely not into dyeing eggs. I don't know if this really makes me upset. I'm also wondering, would this dye the toilet?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
your toilet going to be permanently tie-dyed now? And is that a feature or a bug?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that something you want? Maybe that's what she wanted. That was the end goal.
This wasn't about the eggs at all.
It's all about the tie-dye
It's
toilet.
all about the tie-dye toilet. And the eggs are just a fun byproduct. Imagine this. Here's something to lobby your employer to adopt. A policy that allows for heartbreak leave.
Oh.
This is something that more and more employers are actually offering now.
No way.
Yeah, where, for example, a company in the Philippines is offering up to 5 days paid heartbreak leave every year.
Every year?
Yeah, you get 5 days of heartbreak leave every year that you can use. Now, this has to, I love the caveat. It can be taken once a year, provided the breakup is with a different person each year.
I was going to say, it's like you can't be a repeated breakup, you know, like that'll look a little suspicious.
Yeah. But I like this idea because I feel like if you're coming into work and you just got broken up with, you're not going to be doing your best work that day.
You might be pretty distracted.
You need some time to yourself to sit at home, eat some ice cream out of the tub and whatever. You know, I don't mean tub like bathtub.
Yeah.
Or maybe if that's what you need to do.
You could be in the bathtub taking a bath and eating ice cream.
I don't think that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's fine to do, especially if you've just had a breakup. So I love this. I just think this is smart.
Listen, I remember in my freshman year of college going through a breakup, which was really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely ended up emailing one of my professors and was like, listen, I cannot make it to class today.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I just went through a breakup, and he was completely understanding of that.
It's just so true. Like, what are you gonna, if you had gone to class that day, you would have gotten nothing out of it.
No, I literally was like, I was in tears. There was no way I did not want to go see anybody.
You would have been distracting others, even possibly with your just looking all forlorn.
Yeah.
So
like all sad and mopey in the corner or something.
I will say, here's another good reason for this is that let's say you do come to work, and I can imagine that if you have like friends at work that you really would want to talk to about this, like that you might not want to take your heartbreak leave because it's like I have something good therapy for me would be to go, talk with my friends at work and, complain and whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Get your mind off of it.
But then that's distracting them from getting their work done. So either way, you go through a breakup. I say that you should have the option of heartbreak leave. I will say that for some people, sometimes you can do even better work if you've just gone through a breakup because like you need something to take your mind off of it.
Yes.
And so I can see that being, some people don't need this, but I think it should be an option.
I don't hate the idea. I do feel like there are maybe a few people out there that would use it more than others.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that it's, I guess, an awful idea. But also, I think if you are struggling with like a breakup or something, you could always just take a vacation day.
You could take a vacation day. Some companies just offer personal days.
Yeah.
As well. We at RadioU, we have bereavement, which I've never gotten to use, but I think...
Does a breakup count as bereavement?
Yeah, I think I'd be pretty bereaved if I had to get a divorce at this point.
Well, a divorce, I guess, is different than, breaking up with a boyfriend or girlfriend. But I do think, I don't know if I'd put it on the same level as like losing a family member.
I know, but like, how often does that come up?
For some people, it can be like a time of life. It can happen more often than other times of life. So it just depends. But yeah, I don't think I would want to put that on the same level.
I think,
you're
otherwise,
grieving
though, it's
in
just,
a sense.
It's just sitting there not being used. It's going to waste.
That's a sad way to look at it.
It's time for our Monday tradition, the box office breakdown, looking at what made money and what didn't in theaters over the weekend. And of course, let us know what you've watched recently. Send us your reviews at 8772-RADIO-U. I'll tell you what made some more money this weekend. That's a Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
It got another $80 million in North America alone.
Wow.
That brings it to $280-ish million since its release here in North America, and you add what it's made overseas, it's at about $550 million.
And 2
weekends.
2 weekends, that's pretty good. I would say it's starting to slow down a little bit. So it might not. I'm surprised that overseas number is lower than the domestic. Usually that's not the case. So I know a lot of people were wondering if it might make it to the $1 billion club. I think it'll be close.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's going to make it.
It's got a shot. I think
it certainly has a shot. It's already at 500 million. So.
Yeah. And one thing working in its favor is that there's not much competition that's coming out that's similar to a Minecraft, like family movie kind of stuff that's coming out in the next few weeks. So it should still be able to kind of dominate the box office.
For sure.
Which it definitely did this week. The next closest thing, its next closest competition is another family movie. The King of Kings got second place. A lot of star power in that movie, that animated movie about Easter. It made $19 million.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good. And then number 3 was The Amateur, which is $15 million, which is also pretty solid considering what that movie is, which is Rami Malek kind of using his brain to take down terrorists.
Yeah. Spy espionage type film.
Yeah. We talked about, by the way, Warfare last week in the weekend watch list as well, which was the new war movie that was very well reviewed. And that made about $8 million.
Yeah. A smaller film, though. I don't think they needed to make too much money to, either break even or make a profit. But that's out of all of those, I think King of Kings and Warfare are the two that I want to see.
Yes, I'd be interested in both. Allie, what have you seen as of late?
I gotta be honest, this weekend was filled with golf and baseball. I was really not watching any movies because, let's be real, The Masters was a movie in and of itself.
Yeah, it really was. So I'll give you a pass on that. But fortunately, I've been watching enough for the both of us.
Okay.
I did watch Jurassic Park, inspired by the original Jurassic Park, inspired by the resurrection of the dire wolves.
Yes!
Yeah.
I've been seeing so many great clips with Jeff Goldblum because of the dire wolves.
Yeah. And it's so, like, going back to watch that movie, it's so crazy how many, like, memes sprouted out from that movie that still go to this day.
Oh, yeah.
How, particularly with the dire wolves thing going on right now, how prescient the movie seems. Like, it actually really, like, Jeff Goldblum particularly presents a very good argument for why we should not be doing that.
Exactly. And also, like, it weirdly with the dire wolves follows exactly the same type of logic as what the people that made the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. And that's why as soon as we talked about the dire wolves, all I could think about was the video from Jurassic Park when they're on that little ride that's going around and it's like the dino DNA.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what I thought of. So yeah, it's funny. The memes are working perfectly with that film.
And the movie is obviously not a comedy, but it is very funny.
Oh, like it's hilarious. It's got great one-liners, great moments.
Yeah, lots of great lines. Also, I watched the first episode of the new season of Black Mirror, which I will say gives you everything that, like, it's a classic Black Mirror episode, like a lot of dread, a very cautionary tale. It not only presents a realistic idea of something that could come about in the future with technology, but also, like, I guess you would say, an allegory for, like, what we're going through today. Like, it's not just, oh, watch out for this in the future. It actually kind of translates to what we're willing to put up with now.
Has some modern implications.
Yeah, but also I'm watching it and, like, some of the best Black Mirror episodes are like this, but also they do make you question, like, why do I watch this show?
I know.
Like, it just makes you so upset.
I love Black Mirror. I like anthology shows, but it really does. It has that ability to depress you.
Yeah. I was not, like, there was not a smile on my face when I stopped watching the first episode, but I do want to watch the other 5. I did not get last night. So anybody that's seen this, let me know. I didn't get to see the first episode of The Last of Us yet. That is on my list.
That came out last night.
But I'd love to hear some spoiler-free reviews at 8772-RadioU of that or anything else that people got around to watching. That's your box office breakdown. On the menu today from my favorite fast food restaurant, but I am nervous about this. It is the Popeyes pickle menu.
Oh, boy.
We are trying this out. This is for a very limited time that they are serving this. So we had to get it before it was too late. They unveiled this on April Fool's Day, which is crazy. But what it is they have a Popeyes pickle glaze sandwich. You could also get that glaze on their wings if you so choose. They do have Popeye's pickled chips.
Yeah.
Which are fried pickles. Unfortunately, our location did not have those.
Boo.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I was looking forward to out of all 3 of these menu items.
But you're not.
Because it's the one thing I actually would eat.
You're not looking forward to the pickle lemonade?
No.
Because that's the other thing. You can get, and this comes in either chilled, which is just like regular lemonade, or frozen, which of course would be like a slushie. We went with the chilled version.
Yeah, I don't really want a pickle slushie.
But first of all, Allie, you see why I love Popeyes so much. You have to give them credit. This is a thick chicken slab.
Yeah, that's pretty good looking.
Now, it may be sullied with pickle by the time.
It might not be too great for this sandwich, but the chicken itself looks good.
And the chicken smell, or I guess the pickle smell, I should say, is strong. And like it definitely hits you.
Just took a big sniff, and that was a mistake.
It also feels messy. Like I feel like I shouldn't be operating
machinery,
technical equipment over here while touching this. But what are you gonna do?
You go ahead. It's falling apart. You go ahead and try it.
I lost my piece of pickle, which I feel like is integral to this experiment. Okay.
Try it out. See what you think. Oh, no. It literally is falling apart. I feel like you got the worst one as far as piece goes that is like falling apart.
It has spice to it.
Okay.
It is messy, but that might be exaggerated by the fact that we cut it apart. But it's surprisingly like spicy, which I don't mind. I know that Nene would not appreciate that. Also, I don't know. It just tastes really like if you put a lot of pickle sauce on a Popeye's chicken sandwich, which I still love the sandwich itself. So I feel like I'm good with it.
I'm going to take one more bite just because I need a little bit more information from my taste buds.
I will just sit here and filibuster about how good the actual chicken itself is, though. Like if you removed all the pickle flavor, I would love this so much.
I actually like this.
It's kind of good, right?
I'm shocked. I am not a pickle person. This does not taste bad at all. It actually does have like that spicy little kick to it. And to me, it's less pickle and more just like if you put some type of, spice on it. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like I would order this. If you told me it wasn't pickle related, I would order this.
I guess I am concerned that somebody that's a real pickle person, and on the Popeyes promotion, it literally says a Popeyes pickle menu for pickle people. And if you're a real pickle people, I don't know if this would satisfy you because it's not so pickly as it is like a kind of spicy and a little pickly.
Yeah, it's just got a little bit of a kick, but a regular pickle, almost as if it's just the pickle juice from like the pickle that's on the sandwich.
Yeah.
Saying a lot of pickle right now, but I'm not a pickle people.
No,
but I am a pickleball people. And so I feel like this is right where I need to be if I was to enjoy a pickle flavored thing.
It's right up your alley.
Yeah.
We also have, and I'm much more nervous about this because this makes no sense to me, and that is the Popeyes chilled pickle lemonade. And so I want you to taste this first.
This definitely smells a lot worse.
Do you need a trash can just in case?
I hope
or
not.
a bucket?
I hope
like a
not.
bucket?
Oh my gosh, I don't want to try it.
Well, I think I should get one of those. We should just have one of those buckets that you serve ice cream at kids' parties. Just in case. Just for this situation. You haven't spewed.
Wait a minute.
You're not going to tell me it's good.
It's not terrible. Okay, you try it.
Are you going to drink the rest of that?
Try it and let me know what you think.
Oh, no, I don't like that. No.
Okay, I thought it was going to be like literal pickle brine. And the sweetness threw me off. So it made me think, okay. I was expecting like sour.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
It's a lot of sweet. It's a bit of sour. And then it's whatever pickle is as well. And the pickle ruins it.
Yeah, the pickle ruins it because I would much rather it just be lemonade.
Yeah. Imagine giving that to somebody unsuspecting. They just think it's regular lemonade.
That would be torture, but the smell gives it away. So it would be immediately, right. Before you even take a drink.
They wouldn't be fooled.
Something's wrong with this lemonade. But it's not as bad as what I thought because I think I was expecting it to be sour, and it's not sour.
I really don't like it. I don't want any more of that. But the sandwich I could eat a whole sandwich of this and be very happy with it.
I definitely could see myself finishing that sandwich. I'm actually not hungry at all right now, but I probably could eat the rest of that.
But it's that good.
It's pretty good.
It's that good because it's Popeyes.
Oh, I don't know if I'll go that far.
It's RadioU.
Thanks for listening to the RadioU Podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.